I mean, y'all know it's Easter time, so them Cadbury mini eggs are a must. Except for I only eat the blue ones out because, you know, birdies are blue. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. I'm Connor O'Reilly for Team Latitude 64, OTB Discs, Lucky Ace Discs, On Your Card, and ThrowJoes. And today we find ourselves in Nashville, Tennessee, getting ready for the Music City Open presented by Lone Star Disc. This is going to be a Disc Golf Pro Tour Elite event, and I'm super excited to get out here to Mill Ridge. They've made a few changes this year from years past, so I've heard this is the best version of this course we've seen yet. Let's cut to the chase. I'll see you guys on hole one. And then we're right here. It's a par 4, 668 feet. Not really a lot of options. There's kind of only one that players are going to be taking, and it's going to be out here to the right-hand power hyzer. You kind of just want to choose the right stability based off the wind. And you don't want to get too far left. I think you want to put yourself somewhere in the middle where you can have options into the green. And I'm going to be playing a portion of this course blind, so kind of looking at the tee signs, hoping that they're pretty accurate, and then playing from there. Apparently I need to renew my U-Disc subscription, so we're going to use the reusable scorecard today. I know all you guys have one of these. Very handy. I'm going to test the camera woman's abilities, throwing a clear disc off into the blue sky. See if she can track it. Opto X Ballista Pro, for those of you who do not know. And I let Megan be my caddy here and choose the disc for me. I think she did the exact proper thing. I appreciate you, baby. Yeah. Had to go get the scout around the corner, make sure the basket was where I thought it was. I should have about 380 feet to the basket here. It really sets up nicely for a forehand from where I'm at. Backhand's pretty touchy. And yeah, after seeing this, you definitely want to get further left, hug as close as you can to the out of bounds just to open up the straight backhand as an option, because right now, not really there. Gonna go forehand with my Rive. Just put this one back in the bag, kind of needed something fresh in there. Something I can just throw on forehands or over the water. And this blue one's the one. Hold, hold, hold. Oh, nice. I think I barely beat those trees there. I needed it to hold left just a little bit longer, but I think I'm not in the thick of stuff and kind of just got to the front, luckily. You know, it ain't them Texas wildflowers that we get spoiled with, but Tennessee's got some beauty too. It's got some beauty. Yeah, I barely cut this corner. Got kind of fortunate to get to the front, because if you're in there, it'll eat a stroke off you real quick. And you know, we creeped into circle 2 for a putt for birdie on the first here. Definitely gonna try to get more left when I practice here tomorrow. Wow, I tried a little too hard. I should have just, it's okay, it's okay. We just wanted a little bit of a tester to start off here on one. Well, ended up with this perfect little frame job here, but a little confined with the swing. Got to start with a par here on one. Can't be too mad at that. And now we're warmed up, ready to attack the rest of the course. One of the big themes you'll see on the majority of the holes out here at Mill Ridge is out of bounds lining at least one or multiple sides of the fairway. Here on the second, we have a 723-foot par 4. Really out of bounds pinches towards this gap here in the woods you can see down there, and then it jogs left to a guarded basket. The key here is not to skip out of bounds left and to try to push that back line to give yourself a sight line to the basket for your second shot. I'm gonna go with the honor just so I don't fade and skip too much on the ground late. Ooh, a little bit low, but honestly inbounds here is gonna be okay, and I'm gonna have a long opportunity to save birdie or easy par probably. Turf that tee shot, but honestly this is a solid position here. I can see the gap. I'm not looking exactly at the basket, but just a gentle finish left on the ground play and I can get there. Probably have around 400 feet. This out of bounds is tight on the right and it's still up there to have to deal with on the left as you approach the basket. Gonna go Opto X Explorer. Oh, just barely too much hyzer, caught the inside of the gap. Kick left, kind of tested that out of bounds, but I think I stayed in. Well, after getting in here to this left out of bounds line, I'm really gonna make sure to prioritize missing two straight or to the right here, because if you're left, not only do you have the option to go maybe out of bounds, but like I don't really know how I'm supposed to get to the basket from here. It's gonna be quite the miracle if I can save par here. I think I have to go like forehand cut roller and just hope that it falls at the right time. I'm gonna go Pioneer, out left on a lot of cut. Honestly, I feel like that's about as good as I can repeatably do to try to actually park this shot. It would be like the best forehand roller in my life. Wow. Good dig, good dig. Took a bogey here. Honestly, that left side's really bad, so gotta make sure to get a little better shot off the tee here and then put myself in position to be able to play at least into this gap. So it's tough first starting two here at Millbridge. I think being one down, you're gonna be pretty happy. Two down, you're gonna be really definitely ahead in the field. Hole 3 is a fresh par 3 that we didn't get to see last year. 277 footer with probably equally as many trees in the way. If you can park this one somehow, you might be a wizard. And keep up with those UDIS stats. I'd be interested to see if this one even gets one park shot. And at 277, that's gonna make it really tricky. I think settling for par on this hole is gonna be a great score. Yeah, there's no real clean way to fly to it. You have mandatory right, so you can't just spike it out into the open. I think if you do have a good overhand, you're really gonna be licking your chops to hopefully get a stroke on the rest of the field here. Drop zone right there. If you miss the mandatory, man, this one's tough. Tough, you guys. Here's that look from the front of the tee where you might be planning to throw, just to show you guys how tight this one is. I'm gonna play my orange faith because I think if I can just get like a 60 footer, play straight, a little bit of right movement, I'll be very happy. Ooh. Fairway hit. We need Jake to show us how to throw this hole. This is your.
I don't know about that.
This is your hole. You want kind of flippy for the fast roll here?
More stable. It depends on what your arm angle is.
Yeah.
You see that?
That still got up.
That one was perfect.
Yeah.
It hit that branch. I didn't even know it was there.
No, that is pretty rude because that was gonna skip out.
I didn't even see it.
You still gotta look.
Looky there.
Here, I'm gonna try this. Play just once for. I know that's there, but. All right, this is gonna be the first time I've thrown a driven tomahawk, so Jake inspired me. Let's see. Oh, you know, I hit the middle of the tree. I gotta be pretty happy with that. It was accurate. It was accurate.
It's hard to get low.
Yeah. I gotta really power that
I
more.
get way over, like I arch my back and throw it upside down. That's why I was saying
the arm angle matters.
it's actually more stable for me than you would think.
Yeah.
I'm starting it way upside down.
Okay. Honestly, I think a chip in on this hole is gonna be a pretty common way to get the two because it's gonna be hard to get there. There we go. Oh man. Squeaked into the low left here for par. Hole 3, I'm gonna kind of treat like a short par 4, honestly, because I think trying to do too much here, hitting something early, will be really hard to save par. Very specific, technical hole here. We got a nice long runway here on hole 4. It's a par 5 and we're gonna need it because it's 1,100 plus feet. You got a bomb one out here off the tee. Keep it pretty straight. There's out of bounds left and right, as is typical on this course. Kind of a left to right wind right now, which should be really good for keeping the disc finishing straight, not wanting to fade left. And then you have to throw across the creek on the second shot, and let's go from there. I'm gonna throw it well. I'm gonna take my stable drive here. Could maybe go with a more stretchy one, but I know we'll probably have some windy rounds at some point in the week, so might as well try the stable guy out, learn it a little better. Oh, super low there, but luckily the ground is pretty consistently fast out here. Definitely something to take note of. You got to understand how the ground's playing, especially when the out of bounds can make a big difference, whether you're 3 or 4 feet in a certain spot. Is there out of bounds out there? That's the question. All right, yeah, you really need to push this one far off the tee to be able to look across that gap and throw a straight shot. Honestly, you might have to throw this one like 550 feet to be able to play straight through the gap. A lot of players are gonna be coming in with a big forehand across or a turning backhand. I'm gonna go flippy hatchet and just sail it up in the air. Use this wind to kind of drift me over. I did not see an out of bounds line up there on the right, so a lot of room to work with. Kind of going just for a late roller here. Oh no. Caught the tree, the last tree to beat. Otherwise it would have had a nice, at least 150 feet of roll. See what we got. Is it a par 5? So we should be able to still save par. Apparently everything in Tennessee has thorns, so not too dissimilar from Texas in that aspect. I got a thorny tree, some young blackberries to contend with here. Don't want to get stabbed and throw forehand or stabbed and throw backhand. I don't know. No regrets. Every disc I've thrown in this hole so far has had yellow on it, so I guess I have to continue that theme. Might limit my capabilities of scoring par save. No, it won't. Got skills. I don't know, sticking on our yellow theme, I can throw the pure. Oh, that's yellow. Yellow. I'm going harp. Harp for a chance at par save. After seeing this hole all the way to the finish here, definitely very birdieable. You just got to make sure those first 2 shots are placed well. I know there's a downslope behind the basket here too. I love it. I believe that came in nice and gentle. Should be 25 feet or less for par. Well, not quite as close as we had predicted. I think part of that is due to just not being able to see the base of the basket. And yeah, little depth tricks that downslopes can play. Oh my gosh, that thing 50-50 slid around the entire back. I hit here on the left. It got some Tony Hawk skater points all the way across, wrapped in. Par save, let's go. That one felt good to save. I'm ready for a birdie though. I don't know about you guys. Hole 5 is a very unique par 4. You got a mandatory forcing us left here off the tee, so you can't just blast it out over this parking lot. This one plays direct 90-degree dogleg right. And you're gonna see the majority of the field ripping big anhyzer shots or big overhands to try to give themselves a long eagle look or to clear this wood and creek line that's here running straight ahead. You also see some layup shots out straight ahead to play across, but honestly, the big turnover backhand is the way here. We're gonna send Megan down to the swing point because I think it's not really gonna be able to show from the T angle what's happening. And we'll also more likely to find our disc if she can see it flying. So hopefully we can put this one in play. Well, we have an opportunity to save here. That shot went kind of backwards off the tee at the end of the flight, so didn't get the right turn I was looking for. I'm gonna go forehand flex stiletto. Let's try to see if we can give ourselves a look still. Out of bounds bubbles here on the inside to beat straight ahead and wraps around the backside where that wall is. Ooh, a little sawed off, but I think I beat the trees. I believe I'm putting right side. Ooh, close one. I think the stake kept me in. I believe I hit this out of bounds stake and stayed in. Either that or I kind of just flopped and checked up right in front of it. Might have even caught this bit of fencing here. Regardless, I am very happy to have sawed it off and still giving myself a look for birdie. See if we can hit back-to-back jumpers. Gotta get circle 2, putter number 2. Woo! Nice little drop down with that left to right wind. Read it correctly. And able to pick up a birdie here on the 5th. It's about dang time, you guys. Back to even, back to even. We have another par 5 here on the front 9 in hole 6. This one's about 200 feet shorter than hole 4, but you really have to push it at least 425 feet to clear this out of bounds corner here and to give yourself some kind of window to be able to progress down the hole. Otherwise, you're just kind of pitching out and setting yourself up for that 3rd shot. It's a really good hole for a nice fresh ride. We have tailwind right now, so I should be able to really trust on this thing. Send it flat and hard, about as firm as I can, really. For as firm as I want to touch on the disc golf course during competition play. Oh man, I flirted. Got a nice little ground play there. And I believe I'm inbounds. I think that should be a money spot, but that was scary close. Well, if my math is okay, I should have like 500, a little over 500, maybe 540 feet into the basket. I'm gonna try to attack with a high flex shot. Going Snorlax here. Just make sure to get it over. Definitely gonna be a hole. We will see some eagles on. See if I can get the big bird here. I'm searching for big birds in the rough because holy crud, that is not going to be pretty. Yeah, no turn out of the hand. Oh my gosh, you guys. I found a place that you do not want to be. I think it's very self-explanatory, and luckily I'm on this walking path that was cut out. Otherwise, I don't know what I'd be doing. I'm just going to try to forehand roll it out into the open. Very happy with that. We will take it. Yeah, looking back, I didn't really have to put as much angle as I thought on that 2nd shot, so I made it a little more difficult than it needed to be by hanging it out like that. But this is what practice is for, and try to throw in for birdie. What's up? Got a chance at par. Pretty soft par 5, I'd say. Yeah, I was left with nothing on that third shot and able to save par. I don't know whether or not I'd like to see out of bounds there on the left or just make you deal with it the way I had to, because there's going to be some tricky spots. And then it's really going to kind of double punish the players who try to do a little too much on a pretty simple hole. As much as I like out of bounds in certain spots, I also think, you know, if you have playable rough where you can get to your lie but it's kind of nasty, it's also good to leave some of that throughout the course, because I think if you just have an entire course of out of bounds or you don't ever get into those rough areas, you don't get to show as much creativity trying to come out of the rough, whereas sometimes you're forced to those really nasty spots and maybe you have to throw an overhand or you have to throw a shot you're not typically used to. And I think that's definitely a big skill set to have in the game. So we all love seeing a balance. Life's all about balance. Oh yeah, they left the launch pad for James. He's gonna be ready for this one. Wood's kind of grippy too, James. You're gonna be happy there. Hole 7 is a beautiful par 3. Definitely gonna be that Instagram hole. I'm sure you're gonna see a lot of the pros posting a shot on this one all week. 535 feet, amber waves of grain on either side to navigate. They are in bounds, so you gotta play from the long grass if you end up in there. Kind of a couple tree stands late to maybe collect your disc. I'm not sure exactly how close out of bounds is behind. But having this tailwind here, and at the distance it is downhill, I'm gonna try to rip on the trust and just full send it, see if we can get there. Use all the launch pad here. There we go, flipping up flat for me, riding the wind. I feel like that might be a little bit short. I'm gonna try and explore just for experiment to see, because I feel like I threw that about as good as or as hard as I want to throw the trust. So a bit of a deathy putt, but we're here for the subs, y'all. We're here for the subs. Wow, no, I'm not lied to y'all. That was a risk management release right there. Yeah, look at this awesome rock. Tree grown. What the heck? It's so weird. I've never really seen something like this. Looks like the rock came in and like smushed the tree. Really odd. Why didn't the tree just grow around it? It was like, nah, man, I'm trying to go straight up, so I'm just gonna get nice and flat, skinny on you. So cool. I love it. All right. Honestly, this one's gonna be a tricky pickup with as downhill as it is. You really gotta read the wind correctly. And honestly, I'll probably end up taking wide hyzer in most of the winds. Just come in here, try to check up into the hill. At 315 feet, hole 8 is also a new addition to the course. This par 3 is gonna really only offer one way to get to the basket, and that is low and fast, getting some slide up into the green. I think at this range, a lot of players will be going fairway or mid-range, depending on how high they want to throw it. I'm gonna take my worked in compass and just try to have it drift slightly to the right. I think the right side of the green looks like the most open play here. Gotta throw a good one for ThrowJoes here. Ooh, really held that angle I set it on the whole flight. And, you know, can't be too mad at the placement. Should have about a 40-footer. The green of 8 is very aesthetically pleasing, really enjoying this one. Beautiful and challenging. Ooh, it's a little too much want on that one. No, Seth maybe won it. There you go. Definitely going to be a very tee shot specific hole. If you don't hit it on that pristine line. It's gonna be hard to get the birdie here. Let's see what hole 9 has in store. Hole 3 is a very spicy new par 3. 391 feet. You really gotta punch this one. A little bit of turn to the right and kind of flattening out at the end. If you're throwing right hand, backhand at least. Might be like a big power forehand or lefty hyzer out around this massive tree. But honestly, it seems like straight up the gut is gonna be the best way to get to this one. We played into this green on a tricky par 4 last year, so nice to see us kind of finding a new way to utilize the same part of the course. I'm gonna go Opto X Explore, hit it with some turn, beating this clump of trees here in the middle, and then hoping it kind of just fights out of the turn with its stability. All right, make sure not to fall off the tee box too. Beat it. Yes. Woo, I just slithered past that last Guardian. Fancy footwork, you see that? Swinging off the left side of the tee, hit the little... Yeah, you're gonna have to have some good balance on some of these elevated tees. Oh yeah, very happy. Strong putt out of the hand. Really tough bird to get. This one's gonna be a bonus. Like I said, that big wide shot, definitely gonna add a lot of distance to it, but it is there. Straight up the gut, it's gonna feel really good to execute. Man, what a beautiful big tree they uncovered by kind of clearing the rough around it that we had last year, this big bunker coming into the green. This course, it really has all the makings of an amazing property for disc golf, and you know, it's the 3rd year the Pro Tour has been here now. Excited to see them continuing to make a lot of changes that they've done this year. The front 9, definitely better than last year's front 9 in my opinion. Yeah, and I think if they keep listening to the feedback of the players and keep trying to make the best course they can, this place will stay on the tour. So shout out to everyone here at Mill Ridge, making it better every week. You guys, this is our walk to the next tee box. Mill Ridge is going off right now. Amazing waterfalls. Me and Megan, if you guys didn't know, are actually met in front of Yosemite Falls. So waterfalls hold a special place in our hearts. And I know they always give me kind of the warm feelings, so. Love you, baby. And don't forget to stay off the prickly pear cactus. You know, where I'm from, these things are a dime a dozen, but they're protecting the ones they got here in Tennessee, and rightfully so. They make some beautiful little fruit, and yeah, you gotta love some prickly pear. Adds character to anywhere you are. If you're still with us, here we are on the back 9, and thank you for being here. We really appreciate you guys tuning in and making sure to drop your comments whenever you have questions or you have suggestions for us to get better. We do not want you guys to hesitate. If you have anything you think that can make the videos better or more enjoyable for you, we'd love for you to share it. We have a 354-foot par 3 here. This creek runs in between the gap here, and you really need the disc to move gently from the left to the right in the second half of the flight here. Whether you want to go flip up forehand or backhand turnover, the key here is just that little bit of drift. And I'm gonna go trust. Trust on a little bit of turn to just fight out ever so slightly. Oh, I loved it on my hand, and I caught the tickler in the gap. Might have taken a little bit of distance off it, but couldn't have been more than 10 feet or so. Might have got into the circle if I beat that branch. Either way, through the line I was looking for. Very happy. We saw a similar version of this hole last year. They kind of just tucked the MPO pad a little bit back and to the right of where it was, and added an elevated basket. So, good changes. Another jumper. Oh, put it up high. Trusted it to drop. Really starting to find my range with the gauntlets in circle 2 and finding more and more comfort on the green as well. So super excited coming into this weekend. I'm really ready to compete after a weekend off last weekend. I'm itching, you guys. I'm itching. And not because of this big poison ivy I have on my arm either. That too, though. If you watched last year's coverage, you would have seen hole 11. At 270 feet, you have a low ceiling to navigate off the tee, and then you got to shoot through a gap into the green. This one kind of tears up at the end with some rocks, so hard to put it bullseye, but circle's edge short, you're pretty happy. Big skip. Oh, and yeah, there's those rocks. Like I said, it's hard to get the ground play up here, but anything around circle's edge is gonna play well. Ooh, what do you think? Right just outside the circle here, looks like. Another one of those greens that just really pleases my eyes. Looks so good with the rocks, the grass, and the woods. You gotta love it, you guys. You gotta love it. And you gotta love back-to-back circle 2 birdies. I hope it rolls back to me for saying that. No, no. Oh, did I need to jump it, you guys? Yeah, recently I've been kind of cashing jumpers, but that was in that range where, you know, hard to tell whether or not I really needed to. Also didn't really take the time to lock in the focus there. I was just too busy chatting with you guys, so, you know. It's the name of the game when you're making the tubes, stuff. It'd be like that. It's my new favorite trick. Act like you're giving the disc back to someone and kind of wrap your finger around the inside of the rim. Oh my gosh, got you. I just told you I was gonna do it and I still tricked you at home. If you spit your coffee out or spilled there, I'm sorry. Grab a towel, we'll see you on the 12th. Breaking up this little string of par 3s, we have a par 4 here on the 12th. Another hole you would have seen last year if you watched the coverage. Tight, very specific gap off the tee that's really gonna define this hole. The more out to the left you can move your disc, the better look you'll have coming into this green. And it's tucked around the corner to the right as you approach with some kind of nasty out of bounds down there in the pocket. So I'm gonna go stable arrive here off the gap, try to give it enough height to move left. Oh, well, a little bit late out of the hand, and we're gonna have to scramble. Should be able to take an easy par though. Well, wow, this out of bounds is so far left here, you almost can't reach it off the tee, so good thing to note. And I'm gonna hang out a big roller here, because I still want to score a birdie. Let's see if we can get there. Make sure I miss with too much cut if I am gonna miss, but that's not the plan. I think I really like it. Let's see if it has the speed to stand up and fall on its face. Find out in about 450 feet. All right, this one's pretty blindly around the corner, but you can see the bullseye whisker there. So I'm just gonna try to put it next to that guy. Sake Bomb Slammer, one of the best approach discs in the game if you don't want your disc to go anywhere, which sometimes is a good thing. See, you just saw it off to the left. Skip up nice for a 15-footer. Save your par. You're not gonna be very happy because, you know, your competitors might grab a birdie, but pars are good mistakes. Sometimes the best ones. Well, after that near disaster off the tee, pretty happy to get myself a simple par look and to be able to take it and make it. And when I say the Sake Bomb Slammer doesn't go anywhere, I more so mean it doesn't go as far as any other disc in my bag. It's the shortest disc in my bag. You can still get it out to, you know, 250, maybe 300 feet if you're really pressing it hard. But it also doesn't skip very much. It doesn't fade very much. It will have a high resistance to turn, but it just doesn't have the time to fade very much because it's so slow and it gets to the ground so quick. Such a valuable approach disc. Try one out yourself. If you're hoping to try out any of the discs that you see me throwing today or in any of my videos, Latitude 64 has some amazing offerings, as well as their sister companies, Dynamic and Westside. And between the three of them, I know they have a disc for you for every single shot out there. Don't forget to go to OTB Discs to check them out. Use code Connor to get 10% off your order. Free shipping. Use code Connor to get free shipping on your order, regardless of what disc you're going to pick up. And also go support me a little bit with that code. OTB is not only named the best, but they are actually the best online disc golf experience there is. You get the stiffness and the dome on every disc, which can be really hard to tell without being able to touch the disc yourself. So go over to otbdiscs.com yourself and check them out. I promise you won't regret it. Oh, if that wasn't enough, you guys, they also have a literal picture of every disc, not just here's a batch of how these yellow ones look. No, every single disc has its own picture, so you can see every little streak, every little swirl, and get the exact disc that you want and that you need. 13 is a very unique par 4. It's a tricky one. You have a wall of trees here in the middle that do have a bit of a gap in them to the left side here. You can try to choose to flex a forehand through that gap, maybe a lefty backhand through the gap, or you'll see a lot of players elect to try to crush one over the tree line here, make it pass somewhere to the open field, because if you can clear the gap, you can score the birdie, but if not, it's going to be almost impossible to pick up. All right, the headwind's going to be tricky here. Let's see if Snorlax is trying to get glidey. Yes, I did the little Kale LaVisca trick. I think, you know, as I get older, I got to pick up tricks from different players, and I see Kale, you know, he'll throw some good shots and kind of make sure to walk through it a little bit just so that follow through, all the momentum's going to the shot. And I think if I didn't walk that one down, I don't know if I'm clearing the treetops there. What do y'all think? Prime time position here into the headwind. Feeling strong after that one. Feeling strong, y'all. All right, 270 feet in. I can elect to play a high spiking one or just run it straight at it, and I think that's my play. Go with a nice straight harp. Just focus on hitting it flat through the gap. Oh, gonna need to fade. Gonna need to fade, and I'm gonna have a very bushy putt in there. But it's all right. I brought my stuff. I brought my toolkit. All right, I'm outside the circle. I'm gonna have to get on both knees and like fall forward and then like somehow nose up putt it before I hit the ground. Let's see. See if we can do it. Big guy, small space. Oh my gosh. That branch kept me from whacking it into the cage, but I don't know if I would have got it high enough here. Don't be in this tree, you guys. Not if you want to score a birdie. Not if you want the bird. Ooh, after that tough tee shot, it definitely hurts a little bit to not give myself a putt for the birdie. Gonna have to make sure I don't know. I'd rather try to hit this tree in the middle than miss left or right, so I'm gonna have to remember that come tourney time. Hole 14 is a very technical 375-foot par 3. You have this dead straight option that they've kind of cleaned up over the last couple years that is legitimately there now. I don't know how tight this out of bounds line stays on the right. It looks like it's kind of right here on the edge of the wood line, so really got to avoid that. And because of that, I think I like the flex forehand kind of out of sight here from the tee, fighting back late. It's a hard call though, very hard call. I think just with that out of bounds line, I'm gonna make my decision, forehand flex. We'll try it back in as well, because you know, this is the time to figure out what the best shots are. But we're gonna play forehand flex. Oh yes, I like it a lot. Yeah, I should be circle's edge on the left. Very glad I threw that one correctly because Megan wanted me to go straight shot. And if I didn't throw it good, she was gonna give me a hard time and make it hard for me not to go straight. But We'll try it. We'll give it an honest effort with the gold, sorry, Opto X Explorer. And of course I just throw a geniusly straight shot on that one too. Let's see where both of those are and make a decision from there. I know she feels like that's the shot because I just freaking pured it. But I think I'm gonna have a higher chance at scoring 2s and 3s with the forehand route. I think there'll be some 2s, some 3s, some 4s, maybe 5s with the other route. Oh, that is so hard to swallow. That was the best putt I've had all day. I love veteran baskets, you guys. I love their slippery chains. The way they just like the disc to slide around. Hole 15 is a 777-foot par 4 with an out of bounds line the entire way on the right side that wraps around the back of the basket as you get closer. You have two options. You can play straight through the gap here, or you can blast a big right-hand hyzer up high here and try to fade just in front or just behind that second cluster of trees you can see out there. I think I'm liking the wide shot right now. Play it out, try to beat that cluster, and let's go from there. Woods line left with the creek, plays inbounds, so gonna have to deal with some stuff, but you can still make progress. All right, we're gonna put this new Rive to the test into some headwind. Haven't thrown it a ton in this situation, so this is a good time to figure out how trustworthy it really is. Good angle, that's gonna be fighting right at that tree. Ooh, fades just in front. Very happy with that spot. I think I can score a birdie from there. Didn't use my rangefinder, but I'm kind of guessing that I've got maybe 375 feet in here. That hyzer felt like 400 or so, you know? So yeah, quick math. High spiking stiletto hyzer. Take a peek at that right side of the circle's edge whisker one more time. Okay. Could play through the gap here, but I think at this distance, if you can go over the top, why not? Ugh. Yeah, I hugged that one a little bit inside. Caught some trees. I should have a long birdie putt. Very wishful thinking to assume I would have a putt. Just needed to push that disc a lot further out. I got some tricky footing. See if we can give the harp a little chance here. Like they say on GK Pro Skins, greed is a real thing and it might come back to bite me here if I don't make this highlight putt. See if we can save the par. Well, I was convinced it was good out of my hand, so we'll never know. We will never know. Gonna have to take a bogey here on 17. Sorry, this used to be hole 17. It is now 15. And it's a tricky one. Definitely gotta get some good distance off the tee, and the more you can hug the out of bounds line to the right, the easier this approach window, so I might end up taking the straight shot with the honor. I'll have to figure it out and practice tomorrow. Hole 16 is playing across this pond to the green of 18 from last year's track. This time it's 305 feet, a little bit downhill, but we have this wall of trees in the middle, and you can see that white line of stakes is your out of bounds island, so gotta make it across, otherwise you're going to a drop zone. I feel like most players are just gonna spike this one in. I'm gonna go Pioneer, see if we can put it close. I think I really like it. Yeah. Swung down right in front of the basket. Check skip to the right. Is that a bullseye hit? I think so. Just outside that bullseye. But happy with the birdie here. Definitely gonna be one of those holes you really want to birdie. You do not want to go to that drop zone. You got to putt down the hill from outside the circle. And it's gonna be really hard to lay that one up and swallow your pride. So you're gonna see a lot of players run it. Who knows what'll happen. For the 17th, we're gonna play back across this same pond at 355 feet, another island hole. Really gonna set up well for the right hand forehand, or you can just drive a backhand straight into the hill if that's your play. Really good left-handed hole as well, if you're going that lefty backhand. Yeah, really gotta make sure to get it flat on my stiletto here. Wind pulling off the right, should hold it straight. See what we got. Try not to hit this bird on top of this tree here. Ooh, skipped up just past the trees. I think that's circle one. Let's see. Landed right here on the old FPO tee pad for last year's hole 18. Definitely gonna be a hole you wanna pick up coming down the stretch, but depending on the wind direction, it's gonna play tricky. And if you don't have a strong forehand, it's gonna be a lot harder. Once you beat these line of cedars though, you're pretty much home free. So get just around that corner, play something stable. Maybe like this Connor O'Reilly Clover Explosion stamped stiletto. Are you into fantasy sports, or have you maybe not tried it yet but are ready to try something new and compete against me and support me at the same time? Go check out On Your Card. Link is in my Instagram bio as well as in the description below. And try out the new disc golf fantasy platform that's storming the nation, where you get to play against your favorite professionals. It's a $10 buy-in every week, but you get to pick a new card each week of 4 players to compete against your favorite pros, with a portion of the proceeds going to support those pros on the road. Check it out, and I'll see you guys there. Hole 18 is playing 723 feet, generously up the hill, framed up very nicely by this truss that we have. Kind of the triple mandatory, but you really wouldn't want to throw the line anywhere other than what it's offering, so it doesn't really change the shot, just gives us a nice visual here. You got to play a big bombing tee shot, ideally up towards this gap between the sets of trees here on the hillside. You can push it way off to the right as well to open up some more airspace, but it kind of plays you away from the basket. So I'm gonna try to get right in front of that cluster of trees you can see straight ahead and play from there. Snorlax drive. We do have some headwind, so make sure not to turn it too much, but definitely need a little bit of turn here. Oh, I just needed it to hold a little straighter, a little longer. Faded kind of in front of that second bunker of trees there, so it's gonna block my throwing line quite a bit. I think there's still a long chance at birdie though. It's crazy how much a game of feet and inches disc golf truly is. If I am like 2 paces to the right here, I can just play straight at this one. Only have about 300 in, but it's gonna be a little bit trickier over here. I think I'm liking the flex forehand with my stiletto. Try to just play it right, just to the left side of this big prominent tree. Flex back at the very end. Megan was asking if I wanted to go over the top with the hyzer, which it's definitely right there in the range for me, but as uphill as my run up is, it's gonna be hard to generate the force. So I'm gonna be throwing a lot of upper body. And you know, I think I'm feeling pretty good with the forehand right now, so put it up there, see what we got. Oh man, it was flexing on the exact line I needed. I just had it too high in the air and I did not get through the guardian branches. So par is gonna be likely. It's gonna be a tough finisher. It really takes 2 great shots to score a birdie here on the 18th, and I like that for sure. A little bit outside the jumper range. I feel like I'd kind of be flinging it, and you know, I want to give myself a chance here to end on a highlight. Delaware Faith, a little touch. Fan grip, forehand, backhand, same thing. Ooh, come on. Oh, I thought I did it, you guys. I tried. A little bit of wind coming over the hillside here, just to keep us honest. Well, it's a good tailwind, so make sure to give it the height here. And finished on a nice par here. OTB has really been doing amazing things for the Disc Golf Pro Tour since I've been on the tour, and a little bit longer, honestly. All the help with GK Skins, the advertisement out here. The guys are just doing great stuff and giving money back to the game every year. So make sure to go support them and thank them, and also support me by using code Connor on your next disc purchase or accessories, chalk bags, disc retrievers. I think I've got some merchandise with the CO logo on there too, so don't forget to check it out. This has been Mill Ridge, the home of the Music City Open, presented by Lone Star Disc here in Nashville, Tennessee. If you want to check out all the live action of this weekend's tournament, head over to the DGN. And if you want to watch some post-produced stuff, there's a number of channels to consume it on, but I personally will be commentating alongside Holly Finley on the Ace Run Pro channel for FPO Chase Card. So go check it out. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week or maybe sooner.